All right, so we're going to start the Q&A. We're going to take some questions from the audience. I just wanted to ask Tyler, who was very nervous, like yesterday and today, like, how does it feel? You watched it with the whole crowd. How do you feel now?
Well, obviously I've seen it 10,000 times. I directed, and the way I directed the actors was, obviously I wrote it, so I didn't want them to feel intimidated because it was like a Bible. I wanted them to be very open. So basically when I would direct each actor, I would say, do it instinctually how you want the first time. I don't want to influence you whatsoever. And then I would give them notes after they did their first take. For me, it was just about emotion. I think that's the core of the show, and it's like I said, the beauty of it is the simplicity. I hope everyone connected in some way to it. Obviously, like we're all touching upon, it gets deeper. That's why I added that director's cut trailer at the end of it. But so it's establishing actors, but I'm very happy. I'm very satisfied.
Okay, I talked to some of you guys before, and you had seen the preview, but you hadn't seen the full episode. Does anybody have any reaction they want to share to watching the whole thing and seeing it?
I want to see more.
More? All right.
Oh wow, I guess nobody liked it.
Isabella liked it. So questions from the audience. Anybody have a question? Yes.
Tyler, so I have River Ridge is the first internet series I've ever been experienced to. I have no idea, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that are watching this that have no idea on how do I continue to watch this, because I really liked what I saw.
Okay. Obviously the web is a new, it's new media, basically. So obviously, you know, We Love Soaps as an independent leader, they support a lot of these web series. It is where it's going. I feel that the web, and I keep saying this over and over again, is like the advent of radio, and then television came along. And then I think the internet is the new wave of technology, and that's where things are going. Obviously, to stay connected with the show, we have a lot of possible places where this is going to be aired, and we're still in negotiation with certain outlets and distributors. But to stay connected with our show, you go to riverridgeseries.com. Different shows have different methods of how they release their shows on their own website, whether it's housed on a different website. There are now stations that are like an ABC or CBS to the internet. So that's pretty much the best way to sum it up.
So we're live streaming, we're tweeting, we're doing all these things. And so there's a Twitter question for Beth Ehlers. From @StandByYourSide, ask Beth Ehlers what her favorite part about playing Corinne is, and is it a challenge for her? So, Beth?
Well, I think initially my favorite part was going from TV to web you can curse. But then I'm watching her going, gee, she's dropping the F-bomb all over the place. I'm wondering, like, to my ears, I'm going, God, all right, you little tramp. But I think playing Corinne is so different from Harley, or, you know, there's nothing really heroic about her yet because she hasn't, she's hitting bottom, so we're getting to see the ugliness and the desperation and the fear, and there's just nothing heroic about her right now, but she's going to climb her way out of it. And that's fun. Climbing is fun.
I have to say, there were a lot of people in the running for Corinne, because in the original script, her character, we did a lot of multitude of issues, and her character happens to be going down the slope, and you probably couldn't tell from the first episode, but bipolar disorder. And it's a very, very serious issue to us, as all the issues are in all the different stories. But Beth was the one actress who could play this character and play it with such a sympathetic, I think the audience will have sympathy for her by the end of the season, and they see all 10 episodes. So kudos to Beth, everyone else too, but I'm touching upon Beth's question because it's a very, very sensitive issue that she's dealing with, bipolar disorder. So. And I don't think anyone has seen Beth. You know, for 20 years, she was Harley. This is so different than Harley. You know, I hope it doesn't erase that image because everyone loves Harley from Guiding Light, but I hope, you know, they embrace Corinne and all her ways.
She's a little angry.
All right, I think we got another question from the audience.
Yeah, I really liked it. Actually, I kind of see it as a sort of an anti-Seinfeld, but in Seinfeld, nothing happens and nothing really matters, and this was several vignettes. I'm just kind of curious to know, do you plan to continue in the short vignette, moving from pair to pair to pair?
That's very much what, it's very much from those who are familiar with Crash, I was working on a movie with the producers that did Crash before I started River Ridge. And as a writer, that's where my strength is in what they coined it hyper-cinematic writing, which is a lot of stories and some intersect and some don't. And as the season rolls on, you'll begin to see how different stories are intersecting. But it is a hyper-cinematic type show with several different stories playing out over the course of the season. So, but it's a good question.
Right. Okay, Jon, you're being quiet. What's your reaction?
My expectations were surpassed. Well done, guys. Everybody involved in post-production. I didn't really know what to expect. I'd seen a couple earlier trailer cuts type stuff, but the tone of this is certainly different. And yeah, like I said, everything that I thought I could be was surpassed. So well done, and I look forward to seeing the full story, everything together. So.
Yeah, this is our couple, right?
This is our Brangelina couple.
No, I'm just hogging the mic. I wanted to also give props to Danielle too. She came from, I have a reality background, and she came, I think Kenzie, her character Kenzie in the series, had the most actresses audition for and send headshots and send whatever. She beat out, I literally am saying 100 girls to play Kenzie. And she came from Survivor, that CBS juggernaut, and I believed in her because she had that. So I just want to say I'm proud of Danielle.
It's so nice to work on something and put so much work into it, and then you have to wait till it's getting finished edited, and now just to see the final product, it's exciting. And it was such a pleasure to work with you, Tyler. It's like an actor's dream to work with a director that just understands from an actor's point of view, and basically lets you work and be free. And that's exactly what Tyler did, and I think that's why everything turned out the way that it did. But yeah, no, I'm just really excited to be here. I came all the way from Los Angeles, so I'm excited, and I just want to see the rest of it.
All right, in typical soap or drama fashion, there was a hot shirtless scene during the first episode. Do you have any comments on that?
Photoshop.
You did all right. You did all right.
That was your first time on-screen kiss.
That was my first time on-screen kiss. Yes.
Is that why you wanted 18 takes?
You didn't get it right.
Well, I did want to say, I'm going to kind of repeat myself here. A group of us had gone down to Jersey this summer. It was Tyler, myself, Signy, Christina, and Beth for Spotlight New Jersey. And we had gone down, and I made a comment when I was being interviewed. A lot of times when I do a project, I like to break it down to a one-word description of kind of the overall theme, the overall journey of the project. And I think for this, the overall journey is, or the overall feeling is hope. And because a lot of gritty issues are touched upon in the show, and real-life issues, truthful issues that touch homes. But hope is that, and this is how we all push through in life, really, when you think about it, the hope of a better day. And I guess why I'm saying that is to kind of echo what Tyler had said before about how the show will really resonate with audiences. Because in fact, it does touch on real issues like that we all deal with in our regular lives. And it's rewarding. I don't want to speak for the other actors. I don't like to ever speak for anyone else. It was rewarding for me, to be able to be part of a project that can communicate to the masses. And as actors, I suppose our job is to educate and to make aware. And that's what we do when we embody a certain role in a story. But I wanted to echo your thoughts, and I do think that the project is really going to hit the hearts of a lot of people out there because of the truthful nature of it. And I think everyone hopes for the, riding off into the sunset and things get better kind of thing. That idealism, I think, is reflective of human beings in general, and to have a theme like hope, it'll play well to an audience. So I just wanted to add that comment. And Photoshop again.
Right, I mean, the best entertainment also educates. I mean, you have the power to do that, and when you actually do, and you're responsible, it's amazing. So this is fantastic.
The platform is, there's such a responsibility I don't think people take with this platform of entertainment. There's so much mindless entertainment out there. And for me personally, do I indulge in some of it? Absolutely. Would I ever make that? No, because I'm an artist, so it's like, to me, it's like, you have responsibility. You're getting eyeballs. People are watching this. Why not, if you can entertain and educate? That's like the cherry on top to me. And something that I want to talk about that Signy and I have a lot of discussions about is how gritty the show is. Now, writing it before 2 years ago, when the first draft came out, and I wrote it when no one was attached to the project, it was. Like I said, about all my experiences, indirectly, directly, that I experienced growing up in this town, this place. I never was a writer that liked to write what I knew. I like to create things. This series is, all these stories are, personal to me. And it was about creating authentic stories and how people talk. There's not one cuss word in this show that is not intentional and not to be sensationalistic. Okay, there are some characters that never swear in the whole season. That's not their character. Different ages talk differently, and I think that the thing that made me the proudest was when the script got to so many people that didn't end up being on the cast. One thing they told me was every character is so fleshed out and so three-dimensional, and the way they talk, the teenagers talk the way teenagers talk, the adults talk the way adults talk, and so that meant the most to me as a writer. So, you want to say anything?
Yes, we had many discussions about dialogue. Because I wanted to, not only do we want to be artistic and create, but we also have to look at this as a business, and there is a concern with language of offending people. I myself, there's certain shows that I had difficulty watching on cable networks because of language. So it was trying to find the balance of letting the characters be real and honest, and giving the actors the freedom to express themselves and go off script and be real. And as everything is in life, it's finding balance. Once again, I love what Mark said in terms of hope. We all need hope. They say that many times if you walked into a room with a group of people and everybody put their problems on the table and you could switch with everybody else, you'd probably leave with the problems that you came in with. We all deal with life. That's on, we have gift bags for everybody, by the way, with a bracelet, and one of the catchphrases of the show is, life does not discriminate. It just doesn't. It comes at you. And I love the honesty of someone like Catherine Zeta-Jones, who had the courage to say, this is what I suffer from, and I'm gonna open up the door, I'm gonna put light on it, let's talk about it, and let's make it real, and let's not make it a stigma to suffer from being bipolar, and many other things that storylines as we've delved into. But it is a little grittier, and we will delve deeply into storyline and characters, once again in the hopes that we can try and make a difference. To be able to feel that you are not alone in whatever situation that you may or may not be struggling with or suffering with. Unity, there's strength in unity. So.
So, to follow that up on a completely lighter note, it looks beautiful as well. I mean, the story's there and the meat is there, but it also looks beautiful. It's shot beautifully. Julie Pinson's boots really stood out in terms of a fashion statement.
This is the story, okay? Julie Pinson is not here tonight, okay? And there's another story. Julie Pinson won the Emmy, As the World Turns. finished rapping As the World Turns. It got canceled in August. Was going to take a break. Her agent sent her the script for River Ridge. She signed on. A month later, she was Kimberly from River Ridge. I saw all the outfits and for everybody, you know, all the looks. I discussed what I wanted to look like, but that was the one outfit that I picked out head to toe. Her hair, her jewelry, everything. Because Kimberly was the first character that I wrote in the show. You would not believe the backstory with that set up with them boots. Because in my mind, that was the only thing. In fact, on my way here tonight, I was talking. Somebody said, "What do you have from the first season?" I said, "The only thing I kept as a souvenir was the boots," because of what went into it. You know, like the setup, and it was like, and they were like, "Why do you care if it?" Because I said, in my head, the song is playing when it hits, and it changes the chord when the boot hits the ground. So, Julie, do it again, do it again, do it again, do it again. You know, that was a funny thing that you brought up.
All right. Do you have any other questions from the audience? Yes. Oh.
I wanted to know how Seth Ford liked working with his brother.
Yes, Seth Ford. How did you like working with your brother?
Oh my God, that was fun. It was fun. It was really fun. Like, it helps me and Tyler share the creative bond that we have, and it brings us closer, definitely. Because I remember the very first time, I don't know if you remember, the very first time a couple years ago when you told me about the idea. I don't know if you remember. I remember how you were like, I want to do this, I'm like, okay, sounds cool. So he told, the original title was The Commons, right? Yeah, and that's what it was, and I thought it was a great idea. And it's amazing how, like, bigger and bigger and bigger it got. I'm like, holy, this is crazy. And then, like, yeah, it was really, really cool working with them and being on set with them. And
I said, do you want to act? And I said, well, guess what? You're gonna work with Beth Ehlers.
Oh yeah, that's
your first acting.
Okay, now that's a different story though. Like, yeah,
that different.
Like, yeah, it was really, really fun. Like, the creativeness brought us even closer together. So yeah.
Were you intimidated by Beth Ehlers?
Yes. But I mean, yeah, like when you work with that caliber of an actress, it's like it's.
I'm Betty Davis.
No, I mean, like, it was from doing plays in school to doing this, it's a big jump, big jump, big jump.
He's very naturally talented. That scene is actually really great. Where I bust him because he's getting high on the front porch. Not
the only time.
Throw Christina something.
Yes.
There was another question.
Yes.
You sold me, and I'm hard to sell because, you know, soap operas is, my wife's been trying to get me to watch soap operas for years. You know, she's playing them at night, and I just kind of go put the sports section on and watch a game or something. But you really did something, I really enjoyed it. So tell me, what can we do to help promote your show?
Wow. Twitter, get on Facebook, you know, just spread the word. You know, Twitter and Facebook are great vehicles for getting the word out there. I just never stop talking about it to anybody who will listen to it. But it really is word of mouth is the way that something can not only get launched but continue to grow. So whatever ability you have to, you know, Twitter is just is huge. That's a great way to do it.
And this is ironic. It's not this build up. This journey has not been planned, and I went on a radio show like a month or two ago, and they asked me, was it intentional? And I said no, but I think we were named by somebody the most talked about web series or series that has never aired.
That had never aired yet. No,
it
was amazing. You call me or did I call you?
I called you.
I go, we're in Wikipedia. We haven't even aired an episode yet. Well, a lot of that has to do with the amazing cast that we have as well. And the fans, without fans, we are nothing. The fans are what make us. And every single actor comes with an incredible fan base, and soap fans are loyal fans. God bless. And so that word of mouth and building, you know, sort of building that momentum, very important.
Right, social networking. When you retweet something, it goes to all your followers, and somebody else retweets it, and soon it's thousands and thousands and thousands of people.
But it was just incredible because you launched one Twitter, I posted something on Facebook, you know, opened up my computer, and you know, you've got 200 responses from you know, starting work on a series called River Ridge, new web series. So excited, can't wait, and bam, all of the responses from that. You know, those people are connected to all those other people on their Facebook. And so it just grows and grows and grows. So, networking.
Right. All right, we want to ask the ladies at the end your thoughts after watching the full episode.
Hello everybody, I'm Christina Jackson and I play Reese, Avery's friend. I remember when we did Spotlight New Jersey, and I think Tyler said that Reese was one of the last characters to be cast. And he just said it was really, really hard to cast her. And reading the script, it was like she just seems like such a natural, typical girl. So I didn't understand what the problem was, but I ended up being cast. And I guess my story is typically just dating outside of my race. And as you can see, it's still an issue. Even in the new millennium, it's still an issue for people. And you can see how Shaw reacted when he called Reese the N-word. And it goes back to language, like Signy and Tyler were talking about. I mean, it's a really, really harsh word, but the fact of the matter is that it's a word that's used in language. It's still something that's ever present, whether we want to acknowledge it or not. And I think that the bravery that Tyler has in his writing to use that kind of language and to put it out there and to put that situation where people can see it is, I think is to be commended. It's not something, when I opened the script and I read it, it wasn't something that I was like, ooh, I don't want to do this because I don't want to tackle that. I want to tackle it because it's a part of language. I want people to see me in Avery's situation and I want them to have an opinion about it, and I want you to be able to think of, you know, your friends who date outside of their race or whatever it may be. But I really did enjoy working with this cast. This was like the first away job that I had when we went and shot in Delaware, and I will never forget the van ride all the way down. I will never forget that van ride, and you know, when we got there and just being somewhere different and being with such amazing people was really a gift for me, and it's really something that I'm happy about. This, I was telling him earlier that every time I see the trailer, I always get teary-eyed. I've seen it a million times, and it's just like, oh my God. But I just want to thank Tyler and Signy for bringing me on to this project, and I can't wait to see the great things that come from it, because this is a really great production. It's a really good cast, writing, everything, great, and it's so natural and so rich. I didn't come to work, which is weird because like you say, you know, I just want a working job, but I didn't come to work. I really came to just be natural, and I think that that was what I took away from this, so thank you.
You just need to actually put in the most hours, okay? Like,
I did!
You did.
I did. Oh, okay. So this is what happened. In the trailer, there's a scene where me and Avery are in the car, and we're like kissing, and you know, we do like a love scene. And I will never forget that the hours leading up to that, Signy, who is an amazing cook and bakestress is the name that I've given her, she made this amazing garlic pasta. Right? So me and Matt are just sitting there eating this garlic pasta up, and I'll never forget John, he's sitting there looking at it, he's like, what are you guys eating? And we're like, garlic pasta? He's like, isn't your scene tonight? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, nice. It's gonna be good. That breakfast is gonna be amazing in the scene tonight. But we were on set. I think it was 20 hours. Like we got on set 6 a.m. and like we were on set all day. And like by the time we shot the love scene in the back of the car, we're in a backyard in somebody's SUV. And it's 3 a.m. and it's freezing, and I have like a little shirt on that needs to be strategically moved. And it was just, I mean, I was scared about it because it was like my first, you know, love scene. But Matt is amazing on the eyes, so I really didn't have a problem with that.
So we have to wrap it up. Roger, I want to thank you so much for being part of this.